Welcome, day one of the 5 Sellers a Day accountability group. I'm so excited about this. Our agenda is really, really simple. We're going to teach you how to make 5 offers today. That's it. So what does that mean? Well, we're not expecting you to have it all figured out. We're giving you permission to make bad offers. We're giving you permission to just take Zillow times 60%, and that's it. Like, our goal is just to get you to make 5 offers a day. Forget about perfection. Forget about getting it just right. We're talking about progress, not perfection. We're talking about massive, imperfect action. We're going to teach you some things this first week. Our goal is to keep these calls under an hour. Nobody wants to be on here longer than an hour. And so we're just going to teach you today kind of 3 or 4 different marketing tactics and techniques that you can do. Our goal is to answer your questions. And we're going to talk briefly about, I think mainly today we're going to be talking about marketing. And tomorrow we'll be talking more about how to talk to sellers. And then the next day we'll be talking more about how to make quick offers. So we're not giving you any new courses. We're not giving you, I might give you like my 1-page contracts. I will give you my 1-page contracts. I'll give you my calculators, my spreadsheets, but that's it. Like, we're not going to try to load you up with a bunch of information. We've talked about this a lot. If you signed up, you heard us talking about this. You already know what you need to do. It's already in your head. You already have a bunch of courses. You maybe have mine. You maybe have Sean Terry's. You have Chris Chico's. You've got 100 other ones out there, right? You already know what you need to do. We're just going to help you, hold you accountable. And so, Gavin, if you haven't already, could you post into the Facebook group this weekly scorecard and the daily scorecard sheet?
Yes.
Have you done that already?
No, I haven't. We waited till today because there's going to be the weekly one. We're just going to post on a Sunday morning, and you're going to have Sunday and Monday. We'll post it Sunday and again Monday to get the results. Right. But we are going to release the individual scorecard for everyone today if they want to use it to track their own daily activities on a daily basis. So all they've got to do is transfer from one onto the one we need. But again, if you want to use pen, paper, napkin, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. We just wanted to give you something so you had something to go off.
So this is for your own daily use. If you want to get in here and edit this and play with it and use it, you need to go to File, either make a copy or download it as an Excel spreadsheet. Then you can use this for your own personal use. And when you can start using it, means like marketing activity. You may not be doing any cold calls, or you may not be doing any text, or you may want to add some things. So all you do is you can go in here and you can add a row or delete a row. You can get in here and edit this and play with it. Now, if you insert rows, the totals aren't going to, you have to be careful because these formulas are not going to copy, but you all are smart enough. You can figure out the Excel spreadsheets and stuff like that. Okay. All this is, we're not asking you to submit this daily scorecard. We just want you guys to use this for yourself, for your daily tracking, so you can see your activity, the outbound marketing, the inbound calls, see what's working and what's not. Make sense? The Facebook group, we're going to do our best to be in here answering your questions. But sometimes a group this size can get overwhelming. So if Gavin and I don't answer your questions, somebody else probably will. But we'll be in here at least once a day. One of us, both of us, will be in here looking at your questions, answering your questions. But this is also a group for us, all of us collectively, to encourage each other, to answer questions and things like that. This is not the place where we're going to beat anybody up. Nobody has permission to be a jerk or to beat somebody up if they're not meeting their numbers. We're here to support you and help you in any way that we can. All right, cool.
Yeah.
As we go through this, people are asking here, will you be sharing your contracts and forms? I will be sharing simple stuff with you. Like, I have a 1-page contract. But I'm not going to be giving you a ton of stuff because I want you focused on just making offers, and that's it. And your offers can be as simple as an email with Mr. Seller, we might be able to buy your house for this. And then in the email, like bullet pointed out, $75,000 cash, 2-week inspection contingency, close in 30 days with any extensions needed for the coronavirus thing or whatever, just spell it out, bullet point it in an email. That's it. Okay. We're not, we don't want you spending or wasting time with long, fancy, complicated contracts. Does it make sense? We want you just to do it. Keep it super simple.
Yeah, because the more information that we give you, it's going to be then harder for you to do the challenge. And your excuse is going to be, well, we've been watching all the videos you gave us, so we didn't have time to make our offers, which then makes the challenge pointless. So there is a reason. We're not just trying to not give it you. There's a reason to why we're not giving it you. Is because we want to remove all boundaries for you to say, well, I couldn't get my offers out.
Yeah,
you have to get your offers out.
I want to get this question right here from Esteban. Where are we submitting the cards to? So you're not submitting the daily marketing cards spreadsheet that we just showed you. You're not submitting that. That's for your own personal use. But we're going to be giving you on Sunday or Monday a link to a Google form where you can submit your numbers in there.
Yeah.
So it's just like an online form, and you just type in your name, your email, and your numbers.
Yeah.
And that's where you're going to be submitting your numbers.
Yeah. It'll go up on a Sunday morning, and it'll be removed Tuesday morning. Okay.
Yeah. Can we leverage electronic offers? Yes. I don't care how you send your offers, but it's got to be written. Okay. We recommend email and physical mail. So it's got to be something they can have something to hold on to, but it's got to be written. Just over the phone is not enough. The other thing that we're talking about here, this is important, is it's not just making blind offers on the MLS is not going to count either. Or making blind offers on HUD. That's good, but anybody can do that. 5 a day. If you're doing blind offers on the MLS, you should be doing like 20 or 30 a day. So you got to talk to the sellers or the realtors just for at least a few minutes. Does that make sense? Yeah. Are we going to teach how to select markets? Not really. Okay, I'll teach you. Start with your backyard and then go out from there. That's how we're going to teach how to select markets. We don't want you overthinking this, guys. We want to really, really keep it simple. Electronic signatures are great. Use whatever you want. Sign now, DocuSign. If you're going to use REI Simple, then there's one in REI Simple. Don't worry about that yet. Here's the whole point with this. Just make the offers. If it's old-fashioned pen and paper, then that's all that you need to do. Okay. Are we going to do lease option offers? Yes, or whatever you want. So this isn't lease option or wholesaling specific. It's deal specific. Like this whole challenge, you can make cash offers or lease option offers or whatever you want. Owner financing offers. Your strategy may be buy, fix, and flip. It may be long-term buy and hold. It may be lease options. It may be sandwich lease options, wholesaling lease options. It may be traditional, regular wholesaling. It doesn't matter to us. Make offers. We don't care if you make one offer, like a cash offer, or a 3-option letter of intent, like 3 different offers. We would, whatever's fastest and easiest for you. Okay. I would encourage you just to make one offer. If you're already more experienced and you already kind of know what you're doing, you've already been through my course, then maybe offer, 3 different options or something like that. But we're not going to teach you in this how to make 3 offers. That's too complicated. That takes too long. We just want you to make one offer, and it should take like 3 to 5 minutes. I hope you guys are thinking, oh, that's nice. Isn't that great? Thanks, Joe. I hope you're thinking like that, and you're not thinking we want to get you out of analysis paralysis. We want you to get out of professional student mode. We want you to get into a massive action taker mode.
Yep.
And yes, we will be sharing scripts. Yes, we will be. Once we get a contract signed, can we JV with you? Yes, we will look at it. If either Gavin or me or one of our students will partner with you on the deal, and we'll look at it. And if we say, listen, that's not a good deal, we're not going to partner with you on it, then that may be a deal you want to go back and renegotiate. Okay. Are you going to be answering questions that are submitted in advance? No. So if you have questions, you need to be on the Facebook group. If for whatever reason we're sitting here and there's nothing to do and there's nobody asking questions, we might go into the Facebook group and look to see questions that have been submitted earlier and then go through and answer those. Somebody's asking here, Podio is free. Yes, basic free version of Podio is free for like 500. But you guys use a spreadsheet, and I want to share. This is a good time to share with you my lead tracker. Okay, I'm going to go to one of my documents here. I'm going to share just a couple quick documents with you. Let me open it up and find it here. I don't want you guys again getting bogged down by CRMs and tracking this stuff. Hold on one second. Let me get this thing.
So while Joe's doing that, guys, some of you are one-to-one clients, right? I did a video in our other private group. Make sure when we're going over this marketing that you are not coming off the marketing plan that you already have in place, okay? We are demonstrating the ways to get leads coming in, but a lot of you have already got too many leads. That's what you need to be working on, and that's what I want you making offers on. Don't try and do more marketing because we're already potentially, some of you are going to be behind on the marketing we've already got going. So let's start with that and get the offers out. Remember, we're trying to lift all boundaries. If you know how to do 3 offers, then send 3 offers. If you know 2 offers, send 2. If you know 1, send 1. And it doesn't matter on the offer. Is it cash or sandwich lease or land? We are trying to just tell you to do any of them to give you the best chance of just getting into the mindset and the routine of making offers. And that's what our goal is. So don't think we're trying to, again, avoid anything or hold information back. We just know that is the problem in a lot of courses, right? And we sell courses, so we create these problems. I'm not saying we don't, but we're trying to get you away from that to make offers, to make money.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to share my screen again with you. I just posted in the Facebook group under this thing, and I've pinned it. I'm going to pin this to the top. So if you go in the Facebook group right now, and you go to announcements, I have this post here called Important Docs. And I just posted a new one. It's called the Seller Lead Sheet. If you click on this, it'll open up into a folder, a document. It's a Word document. This is called the Lead Tracker. And it looks funky now, but when you download it into Word, if you just click download this button right here in the upper right, I hope you guys can see that. When you click on this download button on the upper right, it'll download into a Word document. And when you open it up, it'll be formatted to look nicer. But all this is print off 20, 30, 40 of these, okay? And then get you some. All right, this is these are my taxes from 2017. I was just looking at them. Get some from manila file folders and get 4 of them. Get one for blank, one for hot, then warm, then cold leads. So get 4 of these folders, print off 30 of these lead sheets here. Every time you talk to a seller or a realtor, just fill one of these things out. And then you can put it into your hot, warm, or cold folders. You might even want to add another folder called make offers with or whatever. Like, so when you fill this out and you want to make an offer from it, maybe it goes into that folder. You do not need a CRM. It's nice to have one, but if it's slowing you down at all, if it's slowing you down even just a few minutes, you don't need one right now. Maybe later, yes. Maybe you find a virtual assistant to update the CRM for you. But guys, I don't want you to be bogged down with CRMs, with technology and all that fancy stuff. It's important, but I know too many people that it has stopped them from making offers. This is the 5 sellers a day offer accountability group. Okay. This is not the CRM accountability group. This isn't a group that's going to help you and hold you accountable and teach you how to use technology and CRMs and virtual assistants and all these systems and processes and stuff like that. That stuff's nice. That's awesome. That stuff is in my course. But all we're here to do is, again, to force you to make quick, simple, fast offers, right? Talk to sellers, make fast offers. So this cash flow lead tracker, this sheet here, it's just for you to like keep track of your leads. So you write down the address, you write down the seller's name, the property address, the mailing address. Some of you have already seen some questions here, like I forget one of them. Let me stop sharing my screens because this was an important question here. One of the questions was, what if I can't talk to them? Do I just text them an offer? Sure. Like if you can't get an email, go ahead and text them an offer. But I would also say you should send them in the physical mail an offer as well, right? Because that's something they can hold on. If you have the address of the property, then you can get an address of the owner, right? And send them an offer. Even if the address is the same as the property address, send them something in the mail. All right. Don't worry about getting the letters all set up in a CRM either. Okay. You can type a letter in Word, print it. Remember stuffing envelopes?
Yes.
You know,
very well.
print it. Have your kids do it and send it in the physical mail with the real envelope. All right. So
I think it's important, guys, to understand the sequence, what we're trying to do here, right? Number one is marketing.
Yeah.
You're doing enough marketing to get leads coming in. What is a lead? Anyone that says anything but no is a lead. The next step is talk to them. Ask them questions. If you're more experienced, yes, you can go deeper. If you have no idea what you're doing, ask 3 questions, okay? And get off and say, hey, I'm going to make you an offer. You come off, you then make the offer. Once you've made the offer, they go into follow-up, and that's it. That's the 4 things that you're going to do, okay? The objective is to get them on the phone, ask simple questions, go make the offer, which is your 1 offer, your 2nd, your 3rd, your 4th, 5th of the day, okay? And repeat that every single day. That's what we're trying to do.
sometimes I see some questions here. Some sellers never replied back to me after giving me positive answers to my initial text message. Can I just text them an offer? Yeah, sure. Here's the thing, though. We see this a lot where somebody who's nervous and scared or just getting started, we understand. But you hide behind texting or you hide behind email. We want you to pick up the phone and call them. So if your seller has some interest, you send them an initial offer and they say, yeah, I'd consider a lease purchase, or I might sell. Yeah. Call them right away. Don't get back and forth and stay in this texting communication unless they absolutely refuse to answer the phone. But as soon as they say yes, then say, oh, great, I'm going to call you in just a minute here. Go ahead and call them, because that's just the fastest way to find their motivation, to find out really what their situation is, why they need to sell, what are they looking for as a cash offer. You can't really do that by texting and emailing. I mean, technically you can, but it's going to take you too long. Yeah. Okay. You may think, no, phone call's going to take me longer. I'd rather just text them. That's faster. No, the phone call will take, the texting back and forth will take longer. Do you want to add something?
Yeah. And also, guys, the texting, you do want to text because it can be easier. You can avoid the conversation. The problem is with a text message, it's all about how you interpret that text message incoming, right? So for instance, I could say something to Joe as a joke, but he'll read it and take offense to it because there's no, on that delivery, in the tone of your voice, the way that you're positioning or saying it is going to be different. So that's that a lot of texting, when it goes back and forth, will automatically go cold because they were understood something, or they've thought it was this and it meant something else, and then they'll just stop texting, and then the lead's over. So your goal should be 2-3 messages max, and then call them. Don't ask if you're allowed to call them. Just call them. If they don't answer, you can then text them, say, hey, I had a few questions. I tried to call you. When's a good time you can talk?
Exactly.
Follow up with the text. A lot of the time, though, they will answer.
Exactly. This is a real good question here. I've made several calls already, and in finding out their motivation, I find myself allowing them to speak freely. I do care about what's going on. However, we end up being on the phone for about 20 minutes. How can we cut this down without being rude and finding out their motivation? Really good question. Gavin, you want to answer that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So position on the phone depends on where this has come from, but within a minute, you should be able to build rapport on what's going on. It's all about controlling the conversation with questions. So let's say first, second, oh, how's it going? Are you working right now? Things are crazy. It might be a Zillow lead, right? Within a minute, then you transition, and then you would say, there'll be like a pattern interrupt, as John Martinez would say, right? Where you're looking for a moment where you can go in and go, okay, yeah. So let me ask you this question. And then you control that conversation by asking a question. You also, in that lead in, you're going in saying, hey, Joe, I've only got a few minutes. I've seen your property on Zillow. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? So you're saying you've only got a few minutes. You can also say, hey, Joe, I'm sure you're super busy as well. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about your property? Ask your questions, okay, and then go, yeah, no problem. Okay, appreciate it. Let me go and look at the numbers. I'm going to write up an offer, and I'm going to get an offer back to you. How does that sound? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. And then off the phone, okay? So 7 minutes in there somewhere and you don't have to be rude. It's all just that positioning and setting it up that they're busy, you're busy, life's busy. You got a lot of people reaching out to you right now. And once you get doing that, then it will become quicker. And this week's going to be the hardest because we're teaching things in an hour and we're not going to be able to give you everything that you need. So just make an offer. But next week, you're going to get better. Week 3, you're going to get better still. You're going to be more comfortable on the phone. It's going to be flowing more. You're going to be making offers faster. So that's why you have to just say, all right, well, I'm just going to get it done. I don't really know what I'm doing. I just got to get it done. That's all we want this week is just get it done. Just be thinking, I just got to get it done. I don't care if it's wrong. Just make the offer. And don't put in, well, I thought they were going to discuss this in this video. We have 5 days, guys, of doing this. We cannot discuss absolutely everything other than make offers. That's all we want you to do.
Yeah. Don't overthink this. Don't overanalyze it. Again, we're just going to harp on that. We're going to beat it like a dead drum, whatever that means. I'm going to share you something else here. Somebody's been asking about scripts, and I just put them into you guys can see my screen here. So if in the Facebook group, I go to announcements, and I have this post here called Important Docs. I just added these. We have these 4 things in here, right? The daily scorecard. You don't have to submit the daily scorecard. The seller lead sheet, which is this thing right here. It's called lead. You download it into a Word document, right? Print 30 of them and use the manila folders for that. Now, I also just added in the lease options seller script. So if you're wanting to do lease options, this is the script that's in my course. This isn't new. And this is a simple 1-page script for lease options. I did another thing in here called the wholesaling seller script. And this is a script I've borrowed from Wholesaling Inc. from one of their free videos. Wholesaling Inc. is a really, I'm friends with Tom Kroll and Cody Hoffine, the guys who run that. And it's really simple script to talk to sellers. All right. If you're doing more traditional wholesaling, but you can also use this for any kind of deal that you're doing. You know, hey, I'm getting back to you about your house that you have. Sounds like it caught you in the middle of something. Can you tell me a little bit about the property? When were you hoping to be able to sell? What do you think the property is worth? How did you arrive at that number? What kind of repairs does it need? What is owed against the property? If I could pay all cash, close quickly, what's the best price you consider? Oh, really? Is that the best you can do? Can I have the address? I'll do some research. I'll call you back. What's the best way to get in contact with you? Do you have an email address? That's it. Okay. If you just start the conversations with, hey, do you mind if I ask you a few questions about the house to see if it'd be something I'd be interested in? So then you're now in the asking questions mode. You're the one asking the questions. And it's okay to even say, listen, I know if they start going on and say, listen, I'm sorry, I'm in a hurry right now. I'm getting ready to walk into a meeting. Can I just ask you a few more questions? It's okay to say things like that. All right. So those documents are right there in the Facebook group that you can get in there and play with.
Yeah.
Let's talk real quick here. We're going to go through and answering your questions. We're going to give you some marketing ideas, and these are real brain dead simple. I almost said stupid simple, but that would be downgrading them because they're not stupid. The number one source of leads for you right now is going to be your old leads. Your old leads. a lot of you guys are sitting on a ton of old leads, and you're like, what do I do with these things? And I don't care if they're 3 years old, right? Those are old leads. And so if you want the fastest way to get an offer is go through your CRMs, your spreadsheets, any old leads that you've had, somebody that has responded to your marketing before or numbers that you've scraped before or whatever. Those are old leads.
Yeah.
Start calling them. And you might even then need to, and somebody's asking here, is a good question right here. I'm new to this. I don't have any old leads. That's fine. We'll show you some other ways that you can get new leads. But one of the first things you can do is start networking and finding other wholesalers with old leads. And Gavin, we talk about this for a minute here.
Yeah. This is huge, guys. The fastest way to a deal is in the CRM. Now, some of you are new, right? So we are going to cover that. But the older the lead, the better the lead. An old lead means that they've raised their hand at some point from a marketing that you've done, whether it's direct mail and they called in. Was it a text on Zillow and they said, yeah, I'd be interested, but then wasn't interested. But now they might be interested. That would be an old lead. So anything that's on your spreadsheet or in your CRM right now is going to be, for the most part, the fastest way to close a deal in real estate is with an old lead, okay? Your old lead or someone else's old lead. That's how I got started. So this isn't me just saying it. This is how I made it in the business, you could say. This was the way that got me started in the business. And it was the one that was free because all the money is already spent. This is what's good about marketing. A lot of you that are on do marketing. You might do cold calling, you might do direct mail, and it can get expensive. I get it. But if you close months down the line, them deals that you've already paid for, then your profit becomes bigger. Your business for the year, for the month, okay, becomes a lot more. How can you take something that you spent $2,000 on this month and turn that $2,000 in from a $7,000 deal to $100,000 in deals over 6 months? Because that's what we do, okay, is exactly that. We are closing deals along the way from the marketing that we put in, and they are called old leads. So they are closing from months down the line. Now, as someone just said that they don't have any marketing, so we can show you ways to get leads, but then this is so important. If you have old leads, do not start marketing today for new ones. Go to the old ones and make offers because you're making your job way harder, right? If you do that, if you start marketing, because here's where everyone gets it wrong. Everyone focuses on new leads, okay? And when we're saying, well, it takes X amount of time to close a deal, yes, they're unlikely to say yes on the first call, right? So why don't you go to the old leads that have already said, no, I'm not interested right now, and turn them into yeses. So it's really important. If you've got old leads, start there today. Start texting and calling them. Cold call them. Hey, it's John. It's Gavin. We spoke 6 months ago about your property on 123 Main Street. Do you still own it? Oh, yeah, I do actually. Oh, what's going on? Is it vacant or is someone renting it right now? And then you would lead on. Okay, sounds like you still don't really want to sell. Do you mind if I make you an offer? If you've not already made an offer on that, okay? That would be then one of your offers. So it's very simple. And that's what we need to do, guys. I'm telling you, this is, and these videos are going to be like, I can't listen to him say 5 offers anymore. That's going to happen, right? It's going to become by the end of the week. You're going to get it. But we have to keep drilling this in and keeping you accountable to getting these offers out, right? And if it's, we need to know, okay, if you didn't get it out, why? Why didn't you get it out? And then that's what we need to fix on tomorrow's call and make it even simpler. And if we have to go to the Zest on Zillow and you do 60% and you make that cash offer, then that's what we're going to have to do. But we're going to get it done.
Yeah. You know, while you're just talking, I was thinking I'm going to add I'm just going to add all of these documents that we're giving you. I'm going to put them into a brand new Google Drive folder. And I'm going to share this folder with you guys. So that, and I'm going to put this in the Facebook group here. In the important docs. Okay. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Let's do it right here.
just while you're doing that, Paul's just said, yeah. So in our first year, we started later in Alabama, 2018, but our first full year in business, we did 58 deals. 54 came from follow up. 54 deals came from follow up. That is the difference between having a business and having a hobby, right? Four deals if we don't follow up, but 54 came from follow up to make us 58 deals. I can't explain this any clearer, and people don't want to talk about this, guys, but this is the way it is to make profit. Okay, so just keep following up. No means not now.
Number one marketing strategy we want you guys to focus on is old leads. Now, if you don't have any, and I'd say probably 75% of you do, but some of you don't, and that's fine. You can find other wholesalers, other investors that have old leads. And how do you find them? How do you find this is really important. I'm going to share my screen again here. And I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm actually going to open up a new Facebook page here. And I'm going to go to search. There's a couple Facebook groups, Wholesaling Houses Full-Time, that I want you to join if you're not a member of already. One of them right here is Wholesaling Houses Full-Time. This group has 100 and something thousand. Go ahead and join this group. Let's say, there's a lot of good stuff in here. You can also get overwhelmed pretty quickly with information overload. So just be careful with these. What we're joining these groups for is to find other wholesalers that are in your market that you could maybe follow up with their old leads on. So let's say you're in Des Moines. Go to the search button down here, type in Des Moines, and you're going to find all of the posts of people that have talked about Des Moines. And you can go in here and you can sort it by most recent. And somebody here, Branko, is saying, where are my subject to Iowa buyers at? Got a good deal for you. Contact Branko, and say, hey, listen, do you have any, I'm new to this. I'm starting to do a bunch of marketing. I'm starting to make a bunch of offers. Do you have any old leads that I could follow up on? Somebody here is looking, Love is looking for title company in Des Moines. And look at this. Somebody responded here. Now, this was from 2016, but Chad Daniel, though, responded. We are local Des Moines investors and we'd be happy to compare notes. That was 2 years ago. So somebody responded 2 years later. But that's all right. You can go here, too, and sort this by most recent. And this shows you then the most recent posts from people. Adding to my buyers list, hit me up if you are buying in the Kansas City or Des Moines areas. I have a lot on the way. Cheers. So Mike, contact him. Listen, you've got old seller leads. Somebody's looking for a 16-unit apartment. This guy's responding saying, hey, I want something in Des Moines. So anyway, this Wholesaling Houses Full-Time is a good place to go. There's another one called Wholesaling Houses Elite by Max Maxwell. A lot of activity here. And you can find people, again, if you're in Austin, for example. Type in Austin, and you can see everybody who's posted anything about Austin, Texas. And contact people there. One other group I want to tell you about that's active that I like is Wholesaling Inc. These are the guys.
They've changed the group, I think.
Oh, they did.
Freedom.
REI Freedom.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right. It's called REI Freedom. Join them. They don't have as many members, but it is very active with a lot of wholesalers in there. Okay. Then you'll find other groups like this, Wholesaling Houses Made Simple. You can join them if you want. Wholesaling Houses Hacks. You can just do a search for wholesaling and you'll find them in here. I have a group called Simple Lease Options. Free group. Now I'm never in here. So this is my premium group for my students who have my course and I'm in there a lot, but this free group, it's got 12,000 members. There's some activity in there, but there's also a lot of spam. So just, I don't know. I'm just telling you, be careful with this. You'll find some good, Gavin posts good things in here, like role plays. These role plays are really, really good. Check them out. and I post videos and stuff like in here and comments and stuff like that. But somebody sold a house, made $3,000. All right. There's also one more place I want to tell you about, and you've probably heard of it. It's called Bigger Pockets. You got to be careful with Bigger Pockets. I like them a lot, but it can be also overwhelming because if you ask a question in there, you'll get 20 different answers. And everybody is so opinionated. There's a lot of keyboard warriors on here. And if you want to find something negative on somebody, you can find it here. If you want to find something positive about somebody here, you might be able to find it here. But again, you got to be careful with this because sometimes you'll find people on here that say, wholesaling is illegal, immoral, and fattening, or they'll say that lease options are illegal, or they'll say you have to have a real estate license to do a wholesaling, and then you'll find other people that say you don't have to have a real estate license. So you just got to be careful with this stuff that's going on here. A lot of good people here, right? But there's a lot of still some bad people that they put their sourpusses and they'll tell you everything is illegal. And then they do that to scare people, to get them to get more followers, right? There's people that will post junk on here just to get followers and people following them and trusting them. Anyway, but it's still a good place to go. So if you're in Bigger Pockets, do a search for what's Omaha. And you can find people, companies, investors, wholesalers that have Omaha in their member profile. You can also click companies and find companies that have Omaha in their profile, or go to forums and you can find where people have talked about Omaha. Hey, I'm looking for deals, or people selling properties. Like here, would you invest in St. Louis or Omaha? Look at that, but look at the responses that are coming in. And this guy, Kyle, says Omaha. And he says, we have a nice zoo. He's done 355 posts. Maybe reach out to him and say, hey, I'm new in Omaha. Do you have any old leads that I can follow up with for you? I mean, if an investor is doing any kind of marketing, they're going to have old leads, and their chances are pretty high they are not following up with their old leads. And that's something that you can do. Make sense, guys? So I've given you several resources here that are going to keep you busy. 2 or 3 different Facebook groups, Bigger Pockets, and that's going to be enough. I mean, you could also go to Craigslist and do a search for wholesalers that are advertising properties, and maybe you can reach out to them. What I mean by that, if you go to Craigslist, in whatever market you're in, go to housing. And right here, go to for sale by owner. And you start going through, here's a guy advertising right here, a fix and flip in Pueblo, Colorado. And I don't see a phone number here, but if you click on reply, this is a wholesaler advertising this fix and flip, right? And there's his phone number. This is somebody that, if they're advertising on Craigslist, they're probably a newer investor, but they're hustling. I like it. I like seeing somebody he's getting properties under contract. He's working hard to find buyers. So this is somebody that you could maybe partner with, right? And work their old leads. Gavin, if somebody is contacting another wholesaler about old leads, how would you recommend the conversation to go? How does that work?
Yeah, so I would lead in, and let's say it's Taylor, right? So I'd just call him, and he answers, hey, is this Taylor? And he'd say, yes, Taylor speaking. I say, hey, Taylor, I'm an investor. I've just come across your post on, or I'd say I'm a wholesaler. I just come across your post on Craigslist. I guess, are you a wholesaler or an investor? And if he's honest with you, he'll say, oh, no, I'm wholesaling it. Okay, great. Look, I'm new to this. And I've got a lot of time right now to be making phone calls. And I'm just reaching out to a few people that I want to partner up with. So if you've got any old or dead leads, that you're not keeping up with on follow-up, I was just wondering if you'd be interested in, partnering with me. That wouldn't work, would it? Something as simple as that. And see what he says. Well, yeah, maybe. And he might want to know a bit about you. You could offer to FaceTime him or Zoom call him face-to-face. Someone's not just going to be handing over leads to someone they don't know, but you have to start that conversation somewhere. And that's kind of what I would do, is something like that. Just get to the point, be honest that you're a wholesaler. You don't need to say that you're an investor, because we're not. We're investors to the outside, just the public. But when we're internal, we're wholesalers, right? So don't say you're a cash buyer to another investor, because he's going to get upset with you. But also don't worry if you do say that and you mix it up, because next time you won't say it. So just keep it real simple. If you need leads, but again, a lot of you are going to have leads, so don't, like, I can see questions here that we'll probably come to about PropStream and REI Simple, the lead finder. If you've got REI Simple, you want to go and get the lead finder, you want to go and get a vacant list, great, do it. Just go, because we need people on the phone so we can make offers. That's what the goal is. Doesn't matter where they're coming from.
So sorry, my camera keeps on zooming, getting blurry. I don't know. There we go. I don't know what's going on. So number one way to find sellers to talk to is old leads. Your old leads or other investors' old leads. That's where you want to start. The second one, I don't know if these are in order of best to worst, but because they're all good. So it just kind of depends on you and your situation and where you're at. Maybe it depends on your experience level or whatnot, okay? The second fastest, cheapest way, I think, is going to Zillow and Craigslist. All right, so let me just kind of show you what I mean. I'm going to share my screen here. And Gavin, you can see the comments, right?
I can, yeah.
All right, so we're here in Denver, Craigslist, okay? And I like to go to apartment housing for rent. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Craigslist, but that's the way it is. Let's say that you're just doing cash wholesaling. You're looking for cheaper properties, right? So I might do max 1,200, minimum 2 bedrooms. And so the problem I don't like with this either is sometimes you get these apartments. And so it's kind of hard I'm looking for houses. And you're going to see a lot of spam in here. This is one reason, again, why I don't like Craigslist. But sometimes you can go through here and find houses for rent, like this one. This might be a decent one. And then find their phone number right here. It's going to do captchas, and this is another reason why I don't like it. If you do this too much, the captchas will block you. And here's a phone number. Now you can text or call this guy and say, hey, we saw your house at 2667 East 110th Court. Or you could just say, I saw your house on 110th Court. And it looks like a nice rental property. I'm an investor. You wouldn't be interested in maybe selling it, would you? Would you consider entertaining an offer? Right? So looking for rental properties on Craigslist and Zillow and Facebook Marketplace. So let's just look at Zillow here.
I was going to say, Jokes, let's take that. I was going to say, grab that address and let's make an offer on it, like in Zillow, real quick, on how they would do it.
All right. How do you make an offer on this? I'm going to copy the address. For the Zillow. Just open right in here. All right. So I know my screen's kind of small. I'll try to zoom in here. Well, this is weird. Now here they're asking $24.95. Here they're asking $1,200.
So that could be spam straight away. Probably someone's got it from Zillow and trying to get money off someone. So
another reason why I don't like Craigslist that much. I used to, but so anyway, start with Zillow then. So this is a nice house. Does it need any work? Nope. But guess what? It's vacant. So the chances of this house selling for a deep discount with cash, pretty slim to none. So this would be a house I'd want to do more of a lease purchase offer on. You want to look at a cash offer property, Gavin?
Sure, yeah.
All right, let's go to Zillow here and let's go. Denver is a very competitive market, a very expensive market. But what I'm going to show you through here is what to look for. We're looking for cheaper homes, right? So I might do max rent $1,200. I'm going to do 2+ bedrooms. I'm going to do houses only. And sometimes I have, you got to make sure all your filters are cleared, right? And I'm going to remove boundaries, and I'm going to zoom out because I want everything. And there's nothing? Let me zoom out again. Not very much. All right, so let's do...
That's Denver for you.
That's Denver for you, right? So this brings up a good point. Like, well, I'm in Denver. There's not enough leads here. No, look at this. Let me zoom out again. Now I have 187. Let me zoom out again. Now I got 397. Let me zoom out again. Let me also say this too. There's a lot fewer rentals on Zillow right now than normally are. 9,000. So you could just say, all right, show me all of them in Colorado. These are all, so I would start with this, 168 in the state of Colorado, under $1,500. Now, I'm just talking cash offers here. You might decide, I don't like Colorado. There's not enough cheap houses there. Let me tell you this too. If you're doing cash wholesaling, look, this is Missouri. There's 1,965 under 1,500. So like if you're doing cash wholesaling, you might not want to go with Colorado. I would go look at it in an area where investors are going to buy cash flow. Investors aren't going to Colorado to look for cash flow deals. They're going to Missouri. They're going to parts of Tennessee and Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, the cheaper markets, Texas maybe, parts of Georgia, Louisiana. So if you're doing cash wholesaling, maybe don't go into Colorado. Try a market like Missouri. And in Missouri, I might even say max 1,000. And just to remove the riffraff, I might do at least 700. Now we have 945 results. Okay. If you want to narrow it down, maybe you can do a drawing. So I'm going to do a draw. And let's just look around the St. Louis area. Apply. And now you can, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, but now you can see if I go into St. Louis, these are the nicer, more expensive western suburbs, and there's nothing in there for between $700 and $1,000, right? So it's in the rental areas, and these are the areas where people are investors are buying for cash flow. These are the high demand areas. So if I'm doing cash wholesaling, I'm going to focus in this area. So anyway, let's look at one of these properties here. This is a 2-bedroom. We contact this guy. It's listed by a broker, but I would maybe the owner. Call Brian up right here. And if you can't find a number there, then click on ask a question. And sometimes you can find a number right there. And we'll talk more about this later, but even if you don't have a phone number here, you have the address, and you can look up the owner's mailing address, and you could send them a yellow letter. These houses all have one great thing in common. They're vacant. All right? So anyway, call this guy up. Say, Brian, I'm calling about your property on Hamilton Avenue. Is it your property, or are you the manager? You wouldn't entertain an offer to sell it, would you? That's it, right? And you're just going to ask questions. We're going to be going through the scripts and stuff like that later. But how would you make an offer on this? Well, let's go to ePraisal.
So let's say that you've spoken to them and they are interested in you making an offer.
Yeah. So I'm just going to make a quick cash offer. ePraisal's got it at 43,000, Zillow 26. I don't take the average of them. I'm going to get my calculator out here. I know you can't see it. 43,214 plus 26,438 equals divided by 2. So the average is $34,800. Okay. And I would just go that times 0.6. I'd make an offer for $20,900. That'd be my cash offer. If you wanted to spend a little more time, you could go to Redfin. And what I would encourage you to do, if I were to give you any homework, I'd get familiar with Redfin. Just start playing around with it and get familiar with it. So Redfin gives an estimate of 21,000. But the cool thing about this is you can scroll down to the map of any property, and you'll see a button right here, map nearby homes for sale.
Guys, not every market will have
Yeah.
Redfin. So if it doesn't, then Zillow.
And so what I'm doing here in Redfin is that house is in the center of the map. Okay. And so what I like to do then, these are just active listings, and there's 8 active listings here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. This is a rough area. Yeah, right. Look, we see homes that are currently listed for 5,000, 10,000, 12,000. Now these are all going to need work. All right. But the cool thing here is I can go to more filters and I can search. I can switch off for sale, turn sold on. I could go last 6 months. You could even do last year. Apply filters. I got 33 homes here. Sort it by price. And I would take the average of the lowest 5, multiply that by 80%. So I can see here, I'm just looking, there's a lot of cheap properties here. I would probably offer the seller $5,000. But here's the thing you got to remember, guys. What if he says yes? Well, then try to sell it for 15. And what if you can't find a buyer? Well, then you have an inspection contingency, and we're going to give you the 1-page contract that I use. If you can't find a buyer within a couple weeks, go back to the seller, renegotiate a lower price, or cancel the contract. So and when you send the offer, you're not signing it. All right. You're not, you can, after you send it, if they sign it and they say, yeah, let's do it, then we can get on Facebook and we can talk about it. We can analyze it and say, yeah, you know what? You just offered $21,000, right? But look at the solds here. Did you realize like there's a ton of them that sold for under $10,000? And if you look at active listings, there's some here that are currently listed for $10,000. Why would somebody want to pay $26,000 for yours when they can buy some of these for $12,000, $19,000? You know what I'm saying? So, but just make the offer. It could just be you look at actives and say, all right, well, look, I'm going to have to sell mine for maybe $10,000 to be attractive in this neighborhood. So offer $3,000. That's as quick as it takes to come up with a price. Do you want to say anything to that, Gavin?
No, just really, you just got to start firing them off, right? What can't happen is that, I'm getting stuck. There's no need to get stuck. Your goal is to make offers, and we're only day 1. By day 10, we're going to be diving more into sales, into more marketing, into ways of doing offers, how to take the conversation further. But for right now, let's just get 5 offers out today, just doing that. And, we talked about looking at what sold like we just did, taking the zest at 60%. Whatever you want to do, let's just get in the habit of today of all coming on tomorrow and go, right, 5 offers, didn't know what I was doing, but I got them out. Awesome. That's what we want.
My autofocus on this camera is horrible. But you guys don't need to see me anyway. All right, so here, just in St. Louis here, I found 413 properties listed for rent. And since I'm doing the cash strategy, these are properties that are cheaper, right? Between $700 to $1,000. If I was doing lease options, I might do minimum of $1,000, maximum $2,000. I got 512. So just start going through them and calling, looking for phone numbers. And here's one right here. It's a property management company, but I don't care. Call them anyway. Would your client maybe have any interest in selling their property? If they say no, do you have any other clients that might have a rental property they would want to sell? By the way, you can represent me, Mr. Property Manager. And if I buy it, you can be my property management company after I buy it. All right. But just call them. And then we'll show you later, like how you can get the owner's mailing address for this property. And maybe you could send the owner a yellow letter saying, hey, I saw your property on East Poplar Street. You wouldn't be interested in selling it. Would call me. All right. I want to tell you something else here. Another resource. It's going to be good. That's another thing too. Like you can have one of your kids, or maybe in the evening when you're watching that stupid tiger show. What's that called?
I've watched Tiger. It all. Yeah, Tiger.
Everybody's talking about it.
It's gonna do.
Anyway, while you're watching that stupid tiger show on Netflix, you could be handwriting 20 or 30 yellow letters to these rental property owners, because these are listed with the property management company. How do you talk directly to the owner? Well, go to county records and send a letter to the owner of this property.
Tiger King.
Tiger King. Thank you. Have you watched it yet?
I have, yeah. It's crazy. I am one of them.
Gavin,
I know.
I'm disappointed.
You get hooked. It's that crazy.
All right. Let me give you one other website here. GoSection8.com. Guess what you see at GoSection8.com? Let's do. Just put a zip code in there to kind of get it in the area. Map. Well, there's only one in that zip code. Let's do St. Louis. St. Louis. Oops, hold on here. St. Louis County. It just popped up there. There it is. St. Louis County. You can create a free account or whatever. Pretend you're a tenant. Does this tell you how many? There's 213 listings right here. These are Section 8 properties. And guess what? A lot of them, here's a duplex. Call the investor up. If you click on this thing, you're going to get a phone number in there. Hi Tang. Now, I don't know if that's a property manager or the actual owner. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Call them up. A lot of times, too, guys, these properties will not be in Craigslist or Zillow. They just advertise them right here. Here's a great 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. Den Molenhof. Call them up and ask them if they would be interested in selling their property. All right. They say, yeah, maybe if the offer's right. Then say, all right, let me look at some numbers and I'll send you an offer. It's as simple as that. One other place I want to show you is Facebook.com/marketplace. Now, it's harder to get phone numbers from Marketplace, all right? So put your city in here, wherever you're centered, and go to rentals. And if you wanted to, you could do minimum bedrooms 2, rental type, house. All right. And here you can see rentals. Now, sometimes you can go in by the map or just go through here. And when you see a property that you might want to make an offer on, you click on it and you can see the pictures and stuff. Now, it may be listed again with the property manager. I don't know. But send them a message. Send them a Facebook message. And when you do this, mix up your messages, because Facebook might start blocking you if you're sending the same thing over and over again to 20 people a day. But you're not going to get phone numbers from out of this. So you're going to have to just talk to them inside of Messenger. All right. So we just gave you more than you could probably handle, any one person could handle when it comes to leads. Number one, your old leads. Number two, other investors' old leads. All right. Number three, rentals on Facebook, Go Section 8, Facebook, and Zillow. Zillow, Go Section8.com, and Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
You understand? All right. One other place. Let's say, you're an active wholesaler or you've done wholesaling and you want to make cash offers to realtors of listings. One of the things that I like to do is go to Redfin. This is a fourth way that you can do marketing. I'm going to Redfin. I'm active. I'm looking for properties that are older listings. I'm going to do max 100. I'm looking for properties that only an investor would want to buy. All right. I'm going to go to more filters. I'm going to say house only. I want at least 2 bedrooms. Max 100,000, because this is, again, St. Louis. Okay. Time on Redfin, more than 60 days. Apply filters. There's 589 homes here that have been on Redfin or the MLS for longer than 2 months. And there's a reason why they've been on Redfin or the MLS longer than 2 months is because they're probably overpriced. And you can sort this whole thing here by time on Redfin. And so when you see this here, these are going to be a lot of properties that they just hit the 60-day. Because when you go in here and you start looking at this list every day, when you sort it by time on Redfin, all the new ones will be at the top. Does that make sense? All right. So this house, Swansea, Illinois, it's a short sale. They're asking $80,000. There's a reason why it hasn't sold yet. This is a property that only an investor would want to buy right now, right? It needs to be updated. Why hasn't it sold yet? 80 grand is probably too much. Knowing this part of Illinois, it's not the best area of the metro. This property here, if you look through the pictures, oh, this one looks nice. Why isn't this sold yet? This might be a good offer property. You could contact the realtor and say, hey, listen, would they maybe consider seller financing? Or you could offer a cash offer on this one too, right? So let's look at this one, for example, here. These aren't in the best areas. This one needs a lot of work, obviously, right? Why hasn't it sold yet? Because the price isn't right. 70 grand is not enough to attract investors. Now, this is a great area of St. Louis. Knowing St. Louis, 70 grand in one of the best school districts in St. Louis. Why hasn't it sold yet? Well, it's 986 square feet. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, and it needs a ton of work. But you know what? There is a rehabber that would buy this at the right price. So you go here and you click view details and you find the realtor. And you can see here it's listed by Steve Locopicolo or whatever. All right. And a lot of times you just play around in here. You can find out. Here we go. Here's the phone number. A guy from American Realty Group. And we're going to spend more time in the days ahead how to talk to these realtors. But basically, I'm going to call this guy up. Steve, how's it going? Calling about your property on Chamberlain. Looks like a pretty, property that's needs some work. But like, what's going on? Why hasn't it sold yet? Oh, look at property is reported to be vacant and may be eligible for other private financing. Maybe it's a bank-owned REO. I don't know. But call them and say, hey, listen, is the seller's price negotiable? Why isn't it sold yet? How negotiable is their price? And then, again, you'd say, well, let me look at some numbers and I'll put together something and send you an offer. So there's a lot of opportunity on these older listings. This would be a great rental property, I'm guessing. Doesn't need any work inside. It's in great shape. But it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 952 square feet. You know what? Who would buy this property? A landlord. Looks like they staged it. They rehabbed it and trying to sell it. But it's been a couple months. It hasn't sold yet. They're trying to sell it to a retail buyer. Well, maybe you need to go in and offer them, hey, I'll pay you full price if you do owner financing. Offer them 5% down, 5% interest only for with a 30-year AM, 10-year balloon. Interest only or principal only payments. Tell them I'll pay you, and maybe with an interest only payment, you might offer them 80%, 90% of their asking price. Give them 100% of their asking price if they do principal only payments spread out over 250 months. You see what I'm saying here? Go find these older properties that have been listed. And if you have too many, change your filters to more than 90 days. Now there's 437. You understand?
Yes.
Find these properties, call the realtors up, ask them about it, and send them an offer. Now, some of you are asking, well, what about proof of funds? I'm going to tell you, first of all, you don't need to worry about this right now. But if you really wanted a proof of funds, I have a relationship with this company called Easy Button Lending. And if you go to lendingfordeals.com, I'm going to type this in the Facebook group here.
Which no one should be using right now until you actually get something that's going to be contracted.
Yeah, don't worry about this right now, but I know people are asking about it.
Yeah.
Proof of funds. Go to lendingfordeals.com. All right. And this will redirect you to my affiliate link, with a company called Easy Button Lending. I'm good friends with this guy, Matt Bell, right here in this video. Not this guy in the video. His name is Matt Bell. And they will send you a proof of funds letter. Now, they have access to a bunch of lenders, loan programs, all 50 states, all deal types, all credit profiles. They lend on the deal, not on your credit. Now, a lot of things have changed in the last 30 days. So I'm not promising or guaranteeing anything, but right here, you can get your proof of funds letter here. A lot of lenders have pulled their money out of the market right now. But if you absolutely have to have a proof of funds letter, this is a place you can go to get it. Lendingfordeals.com. But again, don't worry about that right now. And we'll talk more about this in the future. But if a realtor says, just send me a proof of funds, you say, well, listen, I don't want to waste my private lender's time every time I'm looking at a deal, every time I'm making an offer. I will give you a proof of funds after we agree on a number. Is that fair?
Yeah.
They wouldn't say no to that, right? Because again, you're not going to want to call your bank or your private lender and ask them to send you some kind of statement or to show or proof that they have the money on every property you're making an offer on. So.
Yeah.
All right. But if you have to have a proof of funds for whatever reason, and maybe this is something you just attach to the email, but see, their proof of funds is going to be, it's not like they're going to give you a letter for that specific property. All right. And it's not an instant letter either. They email it to you. So it is kind of a hassle to get one for every offer that you make. All right. Anything you want to add to that, Gavin?
Yeah, just try not to use that until you get a deal, really. Like Joe said, You've got to work the numbers before you look at that. Also, just on the Facebook group real quick, we're getting a load of questions, which are good. We're getting a load of, questions from you over the last 3 or 4 days. If you've been in that long waiting for this to start, we are going to do our best to answer them. So we're not avoiding them. It's just obviously, as you can imagine, as people comment, they all jumble around. So you're just going to have to bear with us. And this is going to be a great place on these videos to ask your questions as well, so we can get as much answered as possible.
One thing I'll tell you here too, that I like to do, if I'm looking for nicer homes on Redfin to send letters for lease options, I might look for prices between homes between 100 to 250,000, 3+ bedrooms, houses only on Redfin for more than 180 days. Apply filters. And right now in the St. Louis area, there's 270 homes. So I would probably look at sending letters to the owners of these properties, asking them if they would want to do a lease purchase. You could contact the realtor as well, but I would prefer just to see you send a letter to the owner.
And we're going to be showing them later this week exactly how to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so we've covered, again, let's go back to just here. Number one, for your marketing, your old leads or another wholesaler's old leads, okay? Number two, go look for rentals on Zillow, Go Section 8, and Facebook Marketplace. Just send texts or phone calls or messages to people who have rental properties, ask them if they would want to sell their property. Third, look up older listings on the MLS, like on Redfin, that look like they need work, and call the realtor and say, what's going on? Why isn't this sold yet? Can I send an offer? Would they consider? So just send them an offer. The last thing I want to mention here is skip tracing and cold calling. Should we just do a quick campaign inside of REI Simple, Gavin?
We can. Yep. Unless you want to wait till tomorrow.
I think let's do it tomorrow.
Well, I'm only worried that if the more we give them, we've got to get 5 offers out today, which they have enough. So I think open tomorrow up. I'm going to make a note. Let's open up with that tomorrow.
Right. So tomorrow we will show you how to pull a quick list from REI Simple that you can skip trace and then get phone numbers and start cold calling. Somebody's asking about
Everyone's saying now.
No? Okay, fine. We'll do it real quick. It won't take long.
Well, you got to promise me you do not come tomorrow and say that I've been messing around all day and I
Yes.
didn't get my offers out.
All right, I'm just going to do this real fast, okay? And by the way, if you have REI Simple, there's tutorial videos in Classroom right here that shows you how to do this. All right, there's tutorial videos in Classroom. This is REI Simple. I'm going to create a new, I'm actually going to get a phone number first, okay? Actually, I already have a phone number. So this number here, vacant, St. Louis. All right, so no, fine. I'll just get a new number. Hold on here. I'm going to get a new phone number first. You can buy local phone numbers inside of REI Simple. I'm going to share my screen here because it's going to show my personal billing information. Let me just do this real quick. I'm going to add phone number. I'm going to select the area code I want. Let's just do 314, which is in St. Louis. I'm going to buy the first number that comes up. It shows me my address and my billing credit card stuff. It's $3.95 a month, $4 a month for a local phone number. You want a local, each campaign, you want to have a local phone number. Okay, here we go. I'll share my screen now. So that anytime you make an outbound call or receive, an outbound text, any responses will show up in that campaign. Does that make sense? So I just got this phone number here, and I'm going to call it St. Louis Demo. And I can forward it if I wanted to, live answer. I can do call notifications and auto replies and things like that. You can upload or record custom outbound voice messages. Okay, save changes. And I'm going to go here to leads, my campaigns, and I'm going to create a new lead campaign. And let's just call this STL vacant demo. Okay. Campaign type is manual sellers. I just created this new campaign, and I'm going to associate that number I just bought. This is so important. You have to associate that number to this campaign. So when I make outbound calls, it stays there. Now, this lead finder right here, I think you have to have the $197 a month level with REI Simple. There's other ways to do this. You could go to propstreamjoe.com and download lists from PropStream. You can use batch skip tracing or need to skip to do batch bulk skip tracing. I'm just going to show you how to do this quick and dirty inside. Keep it all inside of REI Simple. You do pay a little premium, but it's not that much. I'm going to click here, start search. There's one zip code that I like. I'm going to do 63119. I want absentee owner only. And let's see if we can I'm going to do no preference. No, let's do absentee owners, no preference vacant. You can do tax delinquents, foreclosure, quick claim deed. I'm going to do all no preference there. I'm going to say ownership type. I want only individual owned. I want to exclude corporate owned. I want to exclude trusts and banks. Why do I do that? Because I'm skip tracing. So I only want individuals. Financial filters. I want to do last sale date. Let's do, what is today? The 13th. I'm going to do 1900 to, so they had to have owned it for at least 10 years. And I'm including unknowns. So these are these are absentee owners that have owned their properties at least 10 years, only individuals. Now, length of ownership and equity, those are coming actually in the next few weeks, these two things here. So I could do last sale price or tax value. If I wanted, I go to property type and I could say single family only. And if I wanted minimum beds and baths, I could do that here. I could say, all right, minimum beds 2. And let's see what we have here. I'm searching right now. All right, in that zip code, I have 732 properties in that zip code that are owned by individual absentee owners. So they're not LLCs that have owned it for at least 10 years. Now I can go and I can select all 732, but I'm not. I'm just going to select this page. So I'm just selecting 100 of them. All All right, I'm just selecting 100. I'm going to add them to lead campaign, and I'm going to add them to that one I just created, which was called STL vacant demo right here. Now, I don't know these are vacant, so maybe I shouldn't have called it that. So click next. Oh, yeah. So I just added them to that campaign. Now I'm going to go here to that campaign that I just created, STL vacant demo right here. I'm going to change the name because they're not really vacant, because I know it probably confuses some of you. Absentee demo. I have 100 records in there right now. All right, these are 100 records. I'm going to highlight all of them, and I'm going to go to more actions, and I'm going to go to skip trace leads right here. I'm going to skip trace them. And I bring over, let me show you what one of these looks like first so you can see what I'm kind of doing here. The owner's name is right here and right here. So Terrell Thompson, and this is the mailing address. This is the property address. And so usually you can go in here and see the map of the property. And if there's a street view, you can click street view. Okay. But the property address is different than the mailing address, and the owner is Thompson. So let me go back to all of my leads here. I'm going to select all of them, more actions. I'm going to go to skip trace leads. And this is where I drag and drop the stuff. So owner of record is full name. Mailing address, mailing city, mailing state, mailing zip. Confirm skip trace. Now the leads have been added to skip trace. I go here to this thing to go to my skip tracing. And you can purchase additional credits here. If you buy 1,000 credits, it's $24 a credit. I have 673, so I'm good. But if I wanted to add more, I could do that. I'm going to skip trace these 100 leads. I can give it a name if I want. I can apply a do not call flag if I wanted to, and I can also apply a known litigator flag. And I could purchase additional credits here if I want. I'm just click next step, submit order. And it's loading right now. The status is pending. The cool thing about this is it does all the skip tracing like inside of REI Simple. So let me refresh this page here. In progress, there's 69 leads pending, 28 complete, 3 without matches. Let me refresh again. 37 leads pending. Let me refresh again. 13 leads pending. Refresh again. 1 lead pending. We got this. We're almost done. Refresh again. Still 1 lead pending. 92 leads complete. 6 leads without matches. Complete. All right, now it's complete. I'm going to go back to my campaign right here, St. Louis absentee demo. And I've got 100 records in here. And I'll show you what some of these look like. Terrell Thompson here. We got a home number, home number, home number, home number, and an email. All right. The next one, got an email, mobile, 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 home. Next one, home, mobile, mobile. Now, the yellows mean they are on the do not call list, and the gray means it's not. So I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do with this. Some people don't have a problem with calling the do not calls because for them, it's if you read the details in the law, it's a gray area. If you're not selling anything and it's not an automated robocall or a mass spam blasted text message and it's not a ringless voicemail, you can call them. Okay. And so I'm not going to give you legal advice here. Some people would argue that's a gray area. You shouldn't cross it. Some people say it's a gray area. You should cross it because it works. That is your call. All right. Clear as mud. Some people don't have a problem. It's like bandit signs, bandit signs really work. And so sometimes people do it. Like they'll just put it out on a Friday night, take it down on a Sunday night. So maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe it is. That's your personal preference. You want to add anything to that, Gavin?
No, I mean, you answered it perfectly. It really is. It's not, again, us trying to get out of it, but we're not attorneys, and every state is different. We can't give legal advice. And as Joe said, just relate it to a bandit sign. You know, people, you shouldn't put them up, but people do put them up. So it's kind of just making that decision. Also, I just want to say here, because I'm looking at the comments, and a few of you have probably got overwhelmed. Some said no, wait till tomorrow. Some said now. We're going to go over this again. So again, don't worry about it. Don't worry about watching the recording for it. We're going to be doing this again throughout the week and this process. So I guess, Joe, my question I have for everyone is there anyone right now that's watching live that has no idea where to start, that cannot get leads to make offers on today? And don't just say no, and then give us a reason of what, like, Noah, because of X. So go and do that right now. If you don't know how to get leads, I'm not saying you need to know what to say, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, do you know the process of what you need to do today? And if there is anyone that doesn't, please put in there so we can make sure we answer your question.
Yeah. Let me just finish this, because you guys, again, you told us to. And we're already 37 minutes longer than we wanted to be on this. But I knew the first call would be longer than normal. All right. So, like, this was the last of the 4 strategies we gave you for a very specific reason. This is more advanced. All right. So again, go back to what we talked about before. The best way: old leads, your leads or other wholesalers' old leads. Second, contact rentals on Zillow, Craigslist, Go Section 8 for sale, military by owner. I forgot to even mention that, right? Military by owner. So contact landlords. Ask them. Then the third would be, I said Zillow, GoSection8.com, and Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
The next one would be older listings on the MLS, properties that need work, that have been on the MLS for longer than 60 days. Call the realtors, make an offer on those. And then the last one is this one: pulling a list, skip tracing it, and cold calling it. All right. So let me just finish this. We've skip traced 100 of them. I'm going to select all 100. I'm going to confirm these leads. Now, some people say here, listen, this isn't a big deal because I just confirmed all of them. It's okay to send them text because we're not doing auto blasting, sending a bunch of text all at once. The way RES Simple, which is owned by FreedomSoft, they're compliant with this, but you still have to be really careful. All right. So anyway, I just added all of these 100. I made all of these leads confirmed. Now I have to add them to a group. I'm going to create a new group here. I'm going to call it STL Absentee Demo. You have to create a group. I have all 100 selected. I'm going to move all of these to that group I just created. They have to be in a group. A group is like a label. All right. Now I'm going to go here to Marketing, SMS Broadcast Dialer. And I'm going to compose a new one. And I'm going to select the recipients. And it's that demo I just did right here. And I have to choose the number to call them or text them from. It's that number I just did. St. Louis demo right here. So this is really, really important. You have to select the number. So if they respond to a text, that gets tracked inside of that campaign. All right. And so I'm going to first call them. And if I don't get them, then I'm going to leave them a voice message. All right. So I'm going to say, hi, name is Joe. I just left you a voicemail about your property at property address. Give me a call if you're interested in selling. Thanks. Smiley face. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could say send to mobile numbers only, but I'm cold calling. So I'm calling home numbers and mobile lines. I'm not going to do that. And you can remove duplicate numbers. And here is where you can say you can remove DNC and remove litigators. I'm going to remove litigators. And if you wanted to, you could remove DNC. So I'm going to click next. All right. Here I have 139 pending recipients. Now there was 100, right? but there were 139 phone numbers that were not on the do not call list, and they were not on the known litigators list. So what I could do now is I could start going through here and just calling them. And what I do, if I click call, it's going to, if you need to be a couple of recommendations. Number one, to make sure you have a really fast, high-speed internet. I recommend hardwiring in. So you're hardwired into the internet, not relying on Wi-Fi. And you need to have a headphone set, like earbuds or, I don't have any here, but you know those Apple earbuds? Don't do Bluetooth, okay? Don't do Bluetooth. Plug it into your computer with a headset and just start calling these people. You just click on the green button. It'll start dialing them from right inside your computer. You can set it up where it records your call. You're going to get a lot of voicemails. That's fine. Just leave a voicemail and just say, hey, Tom, this is Joe. I'm calling about your property at 2015 Baker Avenue. I know this is out of the blue, but if you're interested in selling it, I'd like to give you a call and talk to you about it. Hang up, okay? And then just click send SMS, and it'll send them this text right here. Hey, my name is Joe. I just left you a voicemail about your property in Baker Ave. Call me if you're interested in selling. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. And if you want to skip it, you can just skip it. If you're talking to them and you want to make notes, you just click on the lead here. It'll open up that record right here. And then you can start, leaving your notes and stuff like that on the property here. I like to make my notes in the comments because it date timestamps your comments. And here, you can change the status or add a task or to do whatever you need to do. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's it. That's cold calling and texting at the same time. Now, if you wanted to, let me do a new one. I'm going to select that demo again. And this is just texting. I'm not going to do any cold calling. All right. Hi. Saw your, I think you own a property at property address. I'm looking for, maybe you could do first name. Do I have the right person? Send to mobile numbers only, because if we don't want to send text to landline. And I click next. Now I have 140 cell phone numbers, and I did not filter out for do not call. And I could just, you see how it's got the names in there? Hi, I think you own a property at 101 Jersey Avenue. I'm looking for Harry. Do I have the right person? And you could just go through and start clicking bang, 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 like clicking and sending SMS texts like that. And You'll send 140 texts. They're all personalized. They're sent one at a time to all these people. Now, if they respond back, yes, you got the right person, then you call them. You don't get in a text conversation. You call them. If they say wrong number, like let's say this person responds, Frederick, and says wrong number. Well, then I can go in here and, like, if I go to communications, and you'll see if they respond back here, wrong number, you can click on their that little circle thing right there, and you can add them to your own internal do not call list. Make sense? You can also email these guys. Just click on their email, and you have an email template. I have one called Vacant House Email, and it just says this: your property at, I think you own a house. I'm an investor. Call me. Put your phone number in there. You can change your template so your phone number is automatically. Emails do not work as well because the spam filters are pretty good at blocking out these kinds of emails. But all right, I hope. Here's the thing: I'm nervous about what I just shared with you because I know I've probably overwhelmed some of you guys. Like, what? This is crazy. Do I have to have REI Simple? No. Like, we showed you already what you need to do. If you're experienced, you've already doing that stuff we showed you, and you want to do cold calling, then you can do that all inside of REI Simple, just like we showed you. All right. Yeah. Ooh, do we start making the 5 offers today or next week? Today.
Oh, yes.
Now, okay, here's the thing. Some of you may be like spanking brand new, and you're like, oh, what? I don't even know what to send them. We're going to cover that tomorrow. All All right. We're going to cover how to talk to sellers and stuff like that. But so the goal is 100 offers in a month. That's 5 offers a week, 4 weeks, right? So 25 offers a week, 4 weeks. So you have the weekends to catch up. So if you can't make 5 offers today, we'll make 7 offers tomorrow, or, make 5 offers on Saturday coming up. So we're only 5 offers a day, and there's 7 days a week. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not good with explaining.
No, that's good. And also, while we're on that point, remember, we are going to be delivering a lot of value as much as we possibly can. If you do get behind this week, right? If you don't, I don't know, something happens, you have to work, you whatever it may be, you just get back on next week, right? We're going to be here every day this week, 3 times next week, and so on. And that's without doing any, daily check-ins and stuff like that. So really, the goal is to make changes over 30 days to get you ready to get the habit of making offers, and you're going to get better. Yes, you might make stupid offers this week, but next week they're going to be better. Week 4, you're going to have it dialed in, okay? And it's going to be the normal. That is what our goal is, okay? So don't worry about getting it right today. Just get them out.
Again, what do I send them? I don't care. Doesn't matter. Send them an email like, hey, I think we might be able to buy the house in this price range, and bullet point. We can offer maybe this, 2-week contingency, pay cash. Send them an email. Send them a cover letter. Don't even worry about sending them a contract yet. Yeah. If it's a lease option, say we can maybe do this price, or this price range for 3 years, $100 down. Send them just a bulleted point thing in an email and a letter in the physical mail. Send them something. Now, we will give you tomorrow like our 1-page contracts, okay? And some things that you can send. But that's it, okay? One other question here. Do we have scripts to download? Yes. In the Facebook group under announcements, there's a thing called Important Docs, and we have some scripts that we just posted there.
Yeah.
Frederico gets it. I know you do, man.
Awesome.
Cool. Guys, we appreciate you. Even if you don't make 100 offers this month, you would have made probably more than you have in the last 6 months, the last 12 months. So don't beat yourself up if you get behind, but don't give yourself any excuses either, okay?
Yeah.
Even if you only make 30 offers, 50 offers, that's 50 times more offers than you made probably in the last year. You got it?
100%.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
See you soon.